These bees are busy. This looks like a lot of new bees. I think my queen might be laying already. Initially I thought it might be robbing, but these bees are doing orientation flights. These two here, they get a lot of sun, and they get the late day sun too, so I think that makes a difference. Right on the front of the colony, right on the front of the box. Spring is almost here. Beautiful bees. No treatments. I believe I pulled this colony out of a barn in Doylestown. And I believe this is a daughter of that queen. But I'm not certain. I gotta check my records. People tell you all the time your bees are going to die if you don't treat them. Well, guess what, folks? That's not the truth. Not at all the truth. Got a couple more over here. These don't get quite as active later in the day, but they lose the sun. In the morning, these two are cooking pretty good because the sun comes up over from the east where I'm at, and that's this direction. And that's why my plan is to get my bees up here on the roof. As you can see, I probably got about 1,500 usable square feet up here. It's about 2,500 square feet. And that's why my plan is to move most of them up here. They get full sun all the time. Do get a bit of breeze, a bit of wind, and I still get the trains. But it is that full sun that really makes the difference. I also am up high enough and I'm away from the ground that my hive beetles, I do see them, but not many. Not nearly as many as I see down here on the bee deck. Now, one thing you might be able to see here is behind those steps, it's a low point. There was some kind of generator or something in this shipping container at one point, and I think due to its vibration, it sunk the concrete up against this building. So I always get water standing back there, and all the dirt and any of the debris and all that kind of stuff gets washed down there as well. So there tends to be a little bit of soil down there, which you probably can't see here, but from what I heard about hive beetles, their larvae will climb out and climb down and climb up steps and do whatever they got to do to get to ground in order to burrow and mature. I was hoping I would have, not too big an issue, and I really don't have too big an issue up here with hive beetles, but like I said, more so on the ground than I do up here on the roof. There was initially some concerns with the heat coming off the top, but I haven't really noticed anything too bad. I mean, Philadelphia gets a hot summer, but it's not like, a Carolina summer or a Georgia summer or anything like that, where it's stinking hot for extended periods of time. Usually we're pretty decent. I do have, if you can see back here, I am probably less than a quarter of a mile from the Delaware River. There's also a creek about 1.5 miles up this way, and I keep water on hand all the time through my rain collection system, so I never run out of moisture for the bees. And I do provide a lot of ventilation. All my colonies are, well, I can't say all, 95% of my colonies are all wide open in the front and just screened off. None of them have closed that entrance off. A few of them started to, but none of them closed it off completely. I also, you might have seen in some of my earlier videos, use this shim board as a spacer in an upper entrance, and that hasn't been closed off either. So they're getting nice ventilation up and through. One other thing that I do is I keep my colonies slanted. As you can see, there's a 2x4 on the back side of the colony, and that was recommended to me by my mentor, Bruce Rodriguez. And basically what ends up happening is any moisture that's generated hits the ceiling, and if it's in there, it's able to run towards the front of the colonies. I haven't seen too much in the way of condensation from these guys, but I do have a couple that are down on the B deck that don't have upper ventilation, and at times, some of those big swing days, there was literally water pouring out of them. The whole landing board was kind of soaked, but that, to my mind, was okay because they're still on that slant and everything's pouring towards the front and out of the hive. So thanks, Bruce, for that bit of knowledge, because it seems to have really paid off. I'm also running, as you can see, almost all 5 frames. 5 frames with either a super or 2. Some I've run with none, and the bees are doing just fine. This colony here, number 8, died out earlier in the winter, but this number 7 still going, and I got quite a few that are just in single 5 frames that are really doing well, at least judging by the activity on my my front entrance. I'm going to take a step down and do the rest of the video from down on the roof. I just kind of wanted to show you guys the start of my setup up here. By the time I'm hoping this summer ends, that this whole roof's going to be filled. So hang on one second, let me go down the ladder. This is how I have to come up and down. I did build an elevator that I come up to the roof with, and I'll show you that in a later video. All right, hang on one second. Okay, so I came down off the roof, down the ladder. Boys. These are my 2 dogs. Shush! Inigo Montoya, who's blue heeler, Norwegian elk hound, and a bit of border collie from what I understand. And my boy Cooper, the basset hound. And they do this nonstop, almost all day, every day. All right, I'm shooting a video. Quiet. So this is the start of my rain collection system. It comes in, I tapped in from inside the building where it leads into the main city sewer, and got some PVC running out here. It fills this first barrel, which is the flush barrel, and that'll gather any hard materials, or at least most of them, during the storms. It'll bring any of the debris off the roof. Dog trap. That'll catch most of it, and this is what I use for watering the bees. I fill up this top rim. As you can see, it's filled right now, but I fill this up every day, and the bees absolutely love this water. It's real stinky. It gets to smell like stagnant pond water, and they absolutely go bonkers for it. So if you have anything like this, you can set up a rain barrel collection and you need water for your bees, they'll absolutely love it. So it does end up filling up, and it'll come across this pipe and fill the other 3 barrels, and I got another barrel I'm going to add to it. This is all my hanging gardens. You might have seen some of these in other videos. Some stuff's still growing. I got some Brussels sprouts that would not die, and some herbs, rosemary and thyme, that are still going really strong, but be getting ready to plant all that stuff up soon. So here we are at the rest of my bees, the bee deck. Right now I got about 20 colonies up here. Had some dead outs, but you know, that's what's to be expected. This is one colony that had earlier in the season started to close this up, and then they took it off. Most of this corner was closed off, and they removed it. So I guess they wanted that airflow. This colony's doing real well. I actually think these are some bees from my boy Bruce, but I don't remember. As you can see, some of these colonies are just single 5 frames. There's no activity at this one right now, but usually that one's pretty busy. I'll check them out with the scope later. This number 25 hive, that was actually like a picture perfect colony going into winter. It was beautiful. And they've been busy too, so I'm happy to see so much in the way of survivals. Now these guys are doing good. Lost that one. This is one of the ones I was talking about that didn't have any ventilation, and you could probably tell by the entrance reducer how wet it was actually getting. At points, like I said, there was water, moisture coming right out. It was literally soaked. You could see a puddle there. These bees have just these two entrances, and I ran these two to see the difference in the colonies as far as ventilation goes, if they really like it or they really don't. So far, these two boxes have been what seems to be very successful. Here's one you can actually see got really wet. I haven't seen any activity in these guys today, but they don't always come out on days like today. It's just cold enough, but just warm enough, so they might be fine being hunkered down. That's another dead out. This one was doing pretty well. All these were doing pretty well. But as you can see, some of them, here's another one, they started propylizing that screen, but didn't go all the way through with it. And some of them didn't touch it at all. It's really, different. Shows you how different these colonies are in personality, I guess, or maybe not personality, but in mannerisms and behaviors. Most of them I tried to get to go into winter with at least one super. A couple of them had two. Several on the roof had two as well. They were just really productive bees. I actually just pulled a super off of this one. The bees are down in the brood box, and they haven't even moved up to the super yet. So I took the second super off. I figured I'll hold on to that for later in the spring when I'm going to need a bit of honey to feed. And like I said, some of them, they all have the double or the 5-frame super. It's a medium super with the ventilated shim board and 2-inch foam above that. So I basically looked at this similar to a house would be. Houses have ventilation, they have upper venting, and they manage to stay just fine as far as warmth goes. That's about it. I mean, I know we're all itching to get into these boxes and take a look at everything, and it's almost here for us in Pennsylvania, but some of you down south are already working your bees, and up here we're jealous. Thanks a lot, guys, for taking a look. Appreciate it. Just wanted to go through a quick run through the setup. I was at the Philadelphia Beekeeper Symposium yesterday at the Franklin Institute, hearing some great speakers and getting some information about some way people manage their bees in rural areas as opposed to urban beekeeping. But it was mainly an urban beekeeping conference, and it was nice. It was a nice day. Met some of the local people, local beaks, and local guild members, which was nice. And it got me excited thinking about bees more so than I usually am, which is a lot. But just wanted to give everybody a quick overview of where I'm at right now and what I was doing for winter and the successes that I had. Seems to me that smaller colony size works best. If for efficiency, they're very efficient in that smaller colony size. And my hope is that this time next month we're looking at full boxes of bees and ready to do some splits and some queen rearing and all the good stuff to get some more numbers next year. And that's it. Thanks, guys, for watching. As always, you can check us out on social media and send us a message anywhere, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Appreciate it. See ya.